Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to the NCAA Hoops Hour. I am the big man on campus. It is Thursday, March 7th, 2019. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a good Thursday as we embark on another night here in Hoops. We'll hope to find a couple spots. I will let everyone know I'm not going to be on incredibly long tonight. I have to head out here around 5:30, so we're only going to be on for about 30, 35 minutes here. So if we don't get to every game, I do apologize, but I'm going out to dinner with my dad, and I got to meet him around 6. So we will get to as much as we can and try to have a better night than we did last night, which, for the first time in a long time, the show didn't do too well. Had a couple winners, gave out Seton Hall, Dayton. I mentioned Loyola or LIU Brooklyn, Fairleigh Dickinson, Incarnate Word. It was actually a better night than I thought it was. I think we had actually a winning night. I, for some reason, thought I gave out a lot of bad plays on this show, but I'll tell you one place I've given out bad plays, and that's my premium selections lately. They have not been particularly good. In fact, they've not been good at all. So we need to get back on the horse here. I think I figured out kind of where the issues are lying, and I'm kind of avoiding those spots. So hopefully we'll get back on the horse. It's a very long season. You go through low spots, you go through very high spots. We will keep our eye on the prize. Let's shout out some people here. As always, please like the show, retweet the show. All of you that retweet it every day, please go do that. Please do that every day. It is a great way to get it out to people that don't know it's on or never heard of it. Every day I receive a DM or a message from someone saying that they're a new listener and they appreciate the show, and they found the show through a friend, they're on someone's site. So all that stuff is really great and really helpful, and I thank you all for doing it. Also, please go support the sponsor. Obviously, guys, March Madness is coming. You want to make sure you have a variety of books. Make sure one of them is mybookie.ag. Obviously, everyone wants to make some money over the tournament and conference tournaments. MyBookie has you covered. They got all the conference tournament odds, all the conference tournament futures. They're getting you prepared for a big March. Make sure you're checking out mybookie.ag. If you use promo code BMOC when you open your account, you get a 50% deposit bonus all the way up to $1,000. So if you deposit $200, they're going to give you $300 to go and wager at MyBookie. They have Bitcoin depositing and withdrawing. They have all sorts of contests, a casino, a racing a portion, refer a friend, all sorts of great stuff at MyBookie. Make sure you're checking it out today. Use promo code BMOC. Get yourself a 50% deposit bonus when you sign up. That is only applicable to new accounts and up to $1,000 on the deposit. So make sure you do that today. Let's get into the show. We will start out with a few shout-outs. James, Carolus, James, Allison, Vire Fugla, absolutely, Salty Dog, Matt Anderson. Welcome in, buddy. Thanks for talking today. Mikey D, Matthew, Robbie, Jay Smitty, Anton, Ronaldinho, Dennis, Rich, G. Coop, Levi, Bo, Stofferson, Naeem, Official, Funny B, Hal, Brian, James, Shadow. What's up? Thanks for watching. Forrest, Kramer, what's happening? Taylor H, Melvin, Dayton, Dennis, Franklin, Mike, Orlando, Bill. Thanks for watching. Last night I had Florida. I had them at Pick'em, and Florida was not able to get the job done. But we're not going to cry over spilled milk. We can't sit here and lament how Florida didn't defend, and they were up 8 with 6 to go, and they had a shot even in overtime to win, and nothing you can do about it. Unfortunately, we don't play the game, and unfortunately, that's why Florida is a team that needs wins, because they don't win games like that. Thank you, Corey H. You're very nice. Shane Russell, what's happening? Charles, what's up? Michael, thanks for watching. Jordan, did I watch the end of the San Diego State game? No, but I heard about it. There was a lot of melts last night. Marquette gave up an 18-0 run to lose. There were a lot of people had issues last night making money, and it's a tough time right now. You got to look, guys. One of the big things that I would recommend, and something that I had to really kind of look into, is every week you should look at the bets that you make, and you should analyze them. And if you had a bad week, you should analyze what you did wrong. And I know for me, over the last couple, 5 to 7 plays, a lot of my stuff has been involving teams that, really have nothing to play for, or it's towards the end of the season, they're looking ahead, or, a bubble team here and there that, isn't good enough or whatever. Make sure the games you're betting mean something. Make sure you're betting on, teams in good spots on the bubble, teams that have advantages on the bubble, teams that are in a conference tournament, teams that are fighting for first place or second place, or, big seed move, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you're not finding a game where there's very little to play for, and you're just kind of playing out the string, Reagan Anthony, Michael, Marco, RT Colin, thanks for watching. Thank you, RT Colin. It's very nice of you. Yeah, people are liking it, so we'll keep it going. Also, make sure you're checking out all the pick previews as far as the conference tournaments that I'm doing on the channel as well. Let's get into the games. As always, guys, not going to be able to get through every game here, but I'm going to go through my thoughts on a few of them here. We'll start out first with Central Florida hosting Cincinnati. I was on this game a few weeks ago when Central Florida was getting 8 points. They were able to get the job done. I lost by 5. Since then, look, I don't think there's anyone that's talked about Central Florida more than me. I have been in this team's corner all year. I indeed believe if they get to the NCAA tournament, they are going to be a very difficult team to beat. And you look at really since February 7th, they've lost twice, and it was the Cincinnati and the Houston. Keep in mind, last Saturday they went in and beat Houston in Houston, knocking off them for the first time in 33 games at home. This team is playing at a very high level right now, and it has to do with very simple things, one of which they're getting to the foul line a lot. That's the way to really enhance leads, stay in games you shouldn't be in. You also look at the fact of how tough this team is matchup-wise defensively. They're very good defensively. They have a guy down in the middle that no one can say they have. He's absolutely huge. Their guards are long, and they play with a lot of fervor on the perimeter. They're terrific as far as guarding. And you look at offensively right now. They're staying healthy. They're getting 4 or 5 different options offensively. It's not just Taylor. It's not just Dawkins, and it's not just Taco Fall. Guys like Terrell Allen are stepping up. DeJesus, Dayon Griffin, Frank Burtz, Colin Smith. All those guys are stepping up and giving this UCF team a huge boost. I'll continue to say it. If this team gets into the tournament, it is really hard to prepare for a team like UCF. It's not often you see a player at 7'6". It's very difficult to hold down. They're getting a good time effort from everyone right now. And this, as far as if they can get the job done, I believe they're in the tournament. This would go a long way, though, to really just kind of hammering home that. In fact, I almost kind of hope they win tonight. So they're squarely in the field no matter what. And that way, Saturday's game, if Temple wins tonight, won't be as important or of some sort. But I like UCF. I think they are a really good home team. This is a team that at home has a real nice crowd down there. This is one of the kind of the underrated places in America. It's kind of a smaller gym. It's not huge. It only seats about 10,000 people, which I guess in the scheme of things is pretty big. But it almost feels like they're kind of right on top of you. Student section is always very good down there. And I like the way this team's playing right now. I'm not looking to step in front of them. Cincinnati is a team that I still think have issues. I think defensively they're good, but they do have a lot of trouble with three-point defense. And that's one of the reasons UCF got real hot in the second half of last game they played. UCF knocked down a ton of threes, and it had a lot to do with the inability to close out on shooters by Cincinnati. And at times they do become a little one-dimensional offensively. They're not exactly the greatest team in the world with the ball. Yeah, they do a nice job rebounding and doing things like that. They don't turn it over. But, efficiency-wise, they're very poor in the half court, 11th in the conference. And you look at from the three-point line, they're 34.5% average. There's really nothing they do at a high level offensively. If you can keep them off the glass, It's very hard for them to do anything. I think UCF's a good matchup, and I think the way they're playing right now, I'm not looking to step in front of them. I'd lay the points here at 2. In fact, I would almost recommend you can get 1.5s out there. I might be just get away from the points, lay the 120, and lay the money line here. 120, 125. I think Central Florida gets the job done. I just don't want to worry about late if this is a 1-point game or they're down 1 or something. I just want them to have to win the game, and we would cash the ticket. What else do we have here? A couple of comments from all the great people. What's up? We got someone in Italy, Simone. Oh, yeah, Simone's a regular listener. Thanks for watching. I really respect the way you look at games in retrospect to gain more knowledge. Good to know that ego doesn't trump knowledge. Yeah, well, I have quite the ego, but sometimes it's all about knowledge too. BMOC for life. Thank you, Armard. That's very nice of you. Thanks for watching. What else do we have here? UCF Cincy is a rock fight. Yeah, that's another good idea. Taking it under here. And I was actually surprised that this total was in the mid-120s. I thought it'd be a little bit lower. I thought it might be 123, 124, and it actually opened 124.5. We've seen a bit of a move up, which is interesting. At 127, I actually almost agree with Hal there. I think it's first to 55 probably wins this game. Taco has improved tremendously. I'm not a look. If he can make 1 of 2 half the time, I'm good with that. I'm very much good with that. He doesn't get to the line too much anyway. How can you get premium plays? You can email me at bmocsports@gmail.com. Like I said, I obviously want to be very transparent. I have lost a few days in a row. I've had a pretty poor run over the last week, so obviously that doesn't mean a lot. I'll get it figured out, but I am very upfront about it. Weber State by 1 million, ? Yeah, I wouldn't have any interest in Weber State. Does Campbell roll at 6 o'clock? I don't know if they roll. Hampton's actually a pretty decent basketball team. I would definitely watch yourself there. Let's go to the next game. Temple heading on the road to take on Connecticut. Temple is a small underdog here, which surprises me. I gotta say, really surprises me. I'm blown away that they're an underdog in this game. And it's really not about the fact that they need to win because they're on the bubble. But, I mean, Jalen Adams isn't playing in this game. Jalen Adams is UConn's best player. Any UConn fan will tell you that, without him, it's hard to win games. Alterique Gilbert is just coming back from an injury. They're not insanely talented without Adams. And Adams is really the man on that team. It's hard to justify as to why they're a favorite in this game. I guess I understand because they're at home and, Temple isn't anything special. But, I think one thing about Temple that I always very much respect is they're not going to blow you away on offense. They're really not going to blow you away on defense. But one thing that Temple does at a very high level is their assist-to-turnover ratio is very good. They're 18th in the country in turnover percentage, and they make their free throws. They shoot 73% from the line, and they have one of the best free throw shooters in the country at 91% in Shiz Alston. Their guard play is very good. And for a team right now that I have a feeling is going to kind of step up to the plate, the problem you have with Temple is, do you ever trust them full game? And that's the big concern for me. Temple is a team that for large parts of the season has had great first halves, and they find ways to blow it and bottle it in the second half. The interesting point of this is, though, you look at the one game this year, Temple really laid the wood. It was against UConn a few weeks ago in Philadelphia, back on February 6th, about a month ago. They won 81-63. Temple shot really well in that game. Jalen Adams only played 6 minutes. Alterique Gilbert didn't play either. So that kind of helps as to why they lost by 18. But again, a change of venue, you throw Gilbert in there. Is that relevant to think that it's going to be a 15-point swing? I don't think so. This is still a game that I find that Temple will win. And the big thing is, guys, when you have a team that is on the bubble, it's important to mention that every game is important. It's not just the big games, because here's the thing. If Temple lose tonight, the game on Saturday is still meaningful, but there's a lot of there's another loss that you couldn't have. It's a road win. Road quad one wins are huge. I mean, they're real big to the bubble. They're real big to your resume with the quad one stuff now. Getting a road win, quad one win, is real difficult and really beneficial to the tournament. This is a huge game for Temple. This is the biggest game of the season. They need to fix it and wake up. And I'm a fan of this team. And again, I've had my share of hassles with Temple this year. They've definitely not been kind to me. But I definitely like them in this game. I think the guard play is too good. I like the way Justin Hamilton's played lately for them down low. They're getting contributions from other people right now, and I like the way they're playing. I think they go on the road and get a win here. I'll take Temple plus the 1.5 in this spot against the UConn Huskies. It is senior night for UConn. Outside of Jalen Adams, not a lot of regular. I think Cobb is a senior. He plays a decent amount, but I don't think the senior night that they thought they would have will be there tonight. So I'm going to lean with the Temple Owls against the UConn Huskies. A couple comments here. How do I feel about the Raging Cajuns tonight? It's not a game I was on. Not a game I looked at. Am I getting braids? No. I'm not getting braids. Another fucking idiot that cares about my hair way too much. What do I think about Lehigh? I'll get to that game. Evansville is my upset special. Okay, well, tell us why. Dumphy Mania right now. Yeah, Dumphy Mania. That's what it is. What's up, Adam? G Coop? Will Jackson State hammer tonight? You mean Jacksonville State? Yeah, I like Jacksonville State. Big fan of that team. Am I willing to lay double digits with them? I'm not really interested. I have them in a future, so I'll just kind of wait on that. Why is everyone on Indiana? Because I think Indiana, obviously people are looking at bracketology and they're saying to themselves, well, Indiana really needs to win tonight, so they're just automatically going to. Look, I think Indiana is just playing kind of all over all over right now. They're just playing good. They're finding ways to win games. And one thing about Indiana that I think we have to point out is they're finally pretty healthy. Green and Davis are back in there. Green played 25 minutes over the weekend and had 13 points. I mean, without Green, they don't win that game. Against Michigan State, Langford had 9 points. He didn't play that well. They're starting to play better. And Illinois is a team that if they're not getting to the foul line and turning you over, they're not very effective. I think that's why everyone's on Indiana. People kind of just assume that because Indiana needs to win, they're going to. We have to remember, and we're going to have this with Temple and Indiana. There's reasons that they're on the bubble, guys. There's reasons they are. But you look at earlier this year, played Illinois, and they won by 8. I think it was the first game of conference play. Langford had 28. He was terrific. So I think that's why people are on Illinois or on Indiana here. Obviously, they're a bracket team. They need to win, and they're playing pretty well right now. Not a lot of interest on the card. I'm already on Illinois State, and I have thoughts on Illinois. Yeah, no, the card's not particularly good. I'm not going to disagree with you there. Do you mind explaining to your viewers about rollovers? Never really messed with rollovers. I mean, I'm not a sports book. I would recommend talking to a sports book about rollovers. They can properly explain what a rollover is. He's been posting. Yeah, exactly. Someone's asking about conference tournament. I do all the previews. Make sure you check my channel out. I have them all coming out. What's up, Jeff Hanna? Thanks for watching. Does Indiana fall into the Florida category? Yeah, look, I mean, again, we can speculate on every team. Again, there's a reason teams are on the bubble. I mean, that's because, they're not great teams. Tug Welsh is in here. One of my favorite names, Tug Welsh. Is App State good enough to win by double digits? I've been betting against Troy a lot. Yeah, I've been betting. Troy's a good team to bet against. Their best player's out, and they're bad without him. Do I think Houston covers tonight? Yes, I think SMU has quit. Let's keep going here. A couple more games. I want to thank all the people for watching right now. We got almost 400 people in here, which I appreciate all of you for being here. Montana. I think this is a good spot tonight. Montana laying 5.5 at Portland State. Portland State actually beat Montana earlier this season. The game in overtime, they were able to find a way in. Since then, this Montana team has lost twice. So since New Year's, they've lost twice. And they, again, are a team right now mired in the Big Sky. They need to clinch the Big Sky, and there's 2 games left. Big game in revenge for Montana. They've only, again, like I said, lost once since January 10th, and that was to Northern Colorado. They had a weird start to conference play. They kind of lost a couple games that they probably shouldn't lose, and since then, this Montana team has really reeled off a lot of great results. They're playing some good basketball right now, really putting together full games, and they're coming off a game against Northern Arizona. They didn't play particularly well and only had 66 points, but they found a way to get the job done. I expect a more concerted effort, especially in revenge. This Portland State team is a team that do a real nice job offensive rebounding. That's one of the real takeaways of Portland State. The Vikings under Barrett Peary are really good. Last year, they sped people up a lot. This year, they're not speeding up as much, but a lot of their offense comes from rebounding the basketball. You look at their number 1 in the country in offensive rebound percentage. They're grabbing a miss 39% of the time. That's pretty impressive. In fact, that 39% is the best in the country by a pretty decent margin, almost 0.5% more than everyone else. They're doing terrific work on the glass. They're also a team that, from a free throw rate percentage, they get to the free throw line a lot. That's how they score, Portland State. Transition, getting to the hoop, and offensive rebounds. So the question is, can Montana stop that? Because Montana is a team with a lot of talent. Ahmad Rory, Jamal Coe, Saeed Pritchett, a lot of talent here. Good defensive rebounding team, which is huge. 39th in the country. This could be a decently high-scoring game. It wouldn't surprise me if this game is both teams in the 70s. But I like the way they rebound. I think they can really wall off easy buckets for Portland State. I think Montana will do enough to pull away late and get a 10-point victory and get a little revenge on Portland State. North Florida heading on the road to take on the Liberty Flames. Liberty laying a big number here, 12.5. Total is 138 or 138.5. I'm also seeing a 139 and a 137. So this number is all over the place from a total perspective. I like North Florida here. I kind of mentioned in the first game for Liberty against Jacksonville, I would have faded Liberty. And it's nothing against the Flames. I think they're a really good team, but I just think they're laying too big a number. Lipscomb is a team that I would lay numbers like this with, but I wouldn't lay them with Liberty. You look at recently, Liberty not killing teams. It's rare that they win by 20 or more. The biggest result they've had really since February, beginning of February, was the 17-point win against Kennesaw. Every other game has been pretty close for the most part. You look at the first game against Jacksonville, that game was somewhat close for a while. And this North Florida team is playing really well. I mean, you talk about a team that's playing their best basketball, it's right now. 7 wins in a row for North Florida. They hung right in with Liberty earlier this year, 70-64 and 75-70. They even won that game. This team's playing too good to be getting 12.5 points. I think this is an odd number. I think it's a bit too high. And you look at a lot of people had concerns with Liberty with North Florida because Noah Horscher went down. I know Horscher was is a big time player for them. He gives them a lot of height, but he was kicked off the team. I didn't think it was as big a problem because they have a kid, which I've talked about on this show, named Wajid Aminu. He's the younger brother of Al Farouk Aminu, plays in the NBA. He's been there for 3 years now. This kid has turned into a rebounding machine. You look at one of the better rebounders in the country, Wajid Aminu, doing some really good things for them. You look at lately, kind of one of the reasons that spurred this big-time run for North Florida. You look at the last 6 games for Aminu. 12, 12, 19, 20, 13, and 11. And he's putting pretty much double-digit rebounds every game, 9 to 12 rebounds a game. He's playing at a really, really high level. You also look at the fact that Garrett Sams is terrific. They hung with Liberty all season, beat him even one time. You give me 12 and a half here, I'll take the points with the North Florida Ospreys in the second round of the Atlantic Sun Tournament. Chance to go to the final and take on which likely is Lipscomb. Liberty minus 10.5. Oh, well, even at that number, I would have taken North Florida. What I'll do is, obviously, we're not going to be on incredibly long tonight. In fact, I'm going to be getting off in about 5 minutes. I got to go. Out here and meet my dad. So I will not be on too late here. But I do want to thank all of you guys. And we'll get to all the games that I talked about here at the end. Is Murray State going to make it in? I don't believe they are. No. I think they'll be in the NIT, and it wouldn't surprise me if they run to win the NIT. But I don't think they're getting in the tournament. Matt Lawrence is checking out the show. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that. What's up, Jewish? Appreciate you watching. Thoughts on Iowa? Yeah, that seemed to me like a good spot for Wisconsin to really just kind of cruise against a bad defensive team. The numbers kind of went down a bit, though, which is kind of surprising. A couple others here, just kind of quick thoughts. North Carolina Central, North Carolina A&T, it's a big-time rivalry matchup down in North Carolina. The game doesn't mean a whole lot. Neither team is going to win this conference, so we're really just playing for seeding at this point. I considered maybe Seattle against Cal Bakersfield. Army Lehigh. Lehigh is a team that I do really like. Army is a team that's really having a lot of trouble right now. They have a player named Tommy Funk. That's a real good player, junior guard. But, they're not playing well right now. They've lost 4 or 5. They've really only won twice since February 2nd. And you look at Army, not a great three-point defense, which against Lehigh you have to be. They're 268th in the country in three-point defense. And you're taking on a Lehigh team that we know is at home. They play real well, good foul shooting team. And I've actually turned into a pretty damn good defense. I would lean Lehigh in this game if I had to, especially if I was getting 5.5. Hampton Campbell, I got a feeling that's a close game. I think Campbell will find a way, but Hampton's better than you think. Jermaine Morrow, a really good player. BU Colgate. I picked Colgate to win this conference. Not ready to lay almost double digits, though. I think they'll win. High Point and Gardner-Webb. Gardner-Webb was a pick-em about 2 hours ago. They're now a 2-point favorite. I like the move and understand it. I think this is a low-scoring game, though. High Point, a real good defense under Tubby Smith. Gardner-Webb, as obviously this year, slowed it down a little bit. They're not as upbeat and crazy as normal. Usually they're very quick-paced. They're not incredibly fast this year. I think this is a game where it will be pretty slow. I think High Point will be able to dictate the tempo a little bit. High Point doesn't do much offensively at all. They're going to take a ton of time off the clock, and a lot of the time they're not going to be very effective. They do a nice job defensively. So I think this is a game where High Point will control the pace a little bit. Maybe an under worth a look here. What else do we have here? Quick question. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate that. I've been going a while and noticed you aren't on SBR anymore. Is that correct? If true, it sucks. You and Gabe were the best on there. That's very kind of you, Mag, actually. Mavakaga. No, I'm actually no longer on SBR. I haven't been on SBR for about a month now. I was there for 5 years. I enjoyed my time. I enjoyed a lot of the work that I did there. I thought we did some really good work, especially between the soccer shows, the right side of campus, some of the great shows Gabe and I did, late night, the Betcast. We had some real great shows there. Unfortunately, the channel went a different direction as far as the way they produce content and the people that they put on the air. It wasn't really something that I was interested in. We almost kind of came to a mutual thing. It had been bad for some time. I really kind of hung on because I owed them. I feel like I thought I did some good things for them, but I thought I was being taken advantage of a little bit. And I felt like going on my own and doing my own thing. So I am no longer with them, but I do all my content here. I'm on with Gabe usually every week now, and I'll have some great stuff coming up. So appreciate your support. Appreciate you watching me, and good to have you back. Norfolk State trade again. This is a big game. They got in a fight last time against Howard. Last time they played, I have to think Howard's going to be in kind of a fight mood tonight, like a fighting mood as far as, kind of getting at him a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this line's actually got a ton of public money on Howard, but Norfolk State's a way better team. I believe they can close at the MEAC tonight with a win as well. A couple of the games that I talked about, I kind of like Temple plus 1.5, like UCF on the money line, Indiana plus 2, Montana minus 5.5, and North Florida plus 12.5. Again, guys, I do apologize. I'm not able to get to everybody's comments here. I will be wrapping up, though, in about a minute or two. I don't even watch SBR videos anymore. Yeah, I can't say I do either, really. Occasionally, I'll check out the soccer show, say hello to those guys. But, I mean, it's the people they put on the air, I'm blown away by. I don't understand the checks and balance system there. When you're putting content out, you have to put out really good info. You have to put info out that people can trust, people understand. It's nothing against listeners, but if someone came to me and said I had 5 years of experience in doing this, I understand putting on a listener every once in a while. But literally, all the people that work there now are just listeners that give out a couple weeks of picks for free, and now all of a sudden they're the common man for gambling. I get you have to, I get you have to grow, but I don't understand the people they put on the air. And that's not to say they don't have good people in the air. Some of the NBA guys they have, King Rail and Ski Prophet, they're good people. I have respect for those guys, but everybody else there, I can't. I don't understand. Guys, do me a favor. Let's do a big like. Everyone like the show right now. All of you, hit the like button. Let's get this over 100. Pete is no longer there, question mark. I reached out to Peter about a month ago. I didn't get a response, which is odd. He usually responds to me. I've known Peter for a long time. I don't know where he is. I've not heard much about him, so I hope he's okay wherever he is. Can you please just say quickly what's your pick in Indiana State Valpo? Under probably. Yeah, I mean, you can sound cool when you just go over every team and give out like a name or two. That makes you, I guess, sound like you know what you're talking about. But I mean, when you can explain a game and as to why the team's going to cover or not, people appreciate that a lot more. And look, I'm obviously, to me, I think I'm a ghostwriter for a lot of people. I think a lot of people watch my show and just take my ideas and just pass them off as their own. When I turn the camera on, a ton of people watch. That's because they know I'm always going to give them good info, regardless of if they pay or not. Most of you people on this channel don't pay for picks. But you know that the picks that I'm going to give you, especially the ones that I send out, are the best on the board. So we'll continue to pop out content. Baseball's coming up, which I'm excited about. I've been doing my studying on it and getting ready for the season. Very excited about it. Do you know anything about Gardner Webb? Yeah, I talked about Gardner Webb a little bit. I missed it about 5 minutes ago. But all right, guys, I'm going to go. You all have a great day. Thanks for watching me. I got to get out of here. I got to spruce up myself a little bit and get on out. I will be on Periscope a little bit later. I'll try to offer more content and more questions. Again, I do have to jump off here. I do have to head out for something. But I appreciate all of you for watching. I appreciate all of you kindly liking the show. And look at that. I asked for likes. I get 113 of them. You guys are the best. And I thank you for that. Teddy B, you and Maxwell Smart would make a great combo on his podcast. Why the fuck would I do that? So I could prop some kid up that has no fucking business talking about basketball? Get the hell out of here. I don't prop people up. Make your own way in life. And good for him. I hope he makes his own way. I don't think he's particularly good at doing much of anything, but I welcome him and I shout him out. Good for him. I hope he does well. I'm on to bigger and better things, which, by the way, next week, very large meeting that I'm very excited about. So I want all of you to pray for me. I want you all to keep me in your thoughts. I have a big idea coming up, and I have a big meeting coming up that really may change the game. And I mean that. I don't blow fucking smoke. I've been preparing for this for a long time, and I'm very excited about it. I just hope that it goes well. It's not an interview. It's not anything like that. I'm looking to get my info somewhere, and we might just be on our way to that. So that is next Wednesday. So I may or may not, guys, be on the show that day. I'll have to let all of you know, but I do have to go up to New York, so I may or may not be here. We'll have to see. And I want to make this very clear. I will never forget any of you, Matt. That will not ever happen. I'm not that kind of person. Teddy, listen, Teddy's just offering his advice, guys. There's no need to jump on him. Teddy's have been pretty cool, actually, lately. He's been very kind. Nothing wrong with that. He's offering his opinion. That will never happen. I'm not propping nobody up. I prop up people that don't need propped up. I get handicappers on that don't need any propping up. They already have an audience. So all of you have a great night, and thanks for watching. I'm out of here. See you later, probably on Periscope. Have a great night.